we think that there should be and can be rules around that will help the Winnipeg Police Service and other law enforcement to take action on those who want to use it for a purpose that is not intended for.
Manitoba Justice Minister Kelvin Gertsen is hoping to make changes to the criminal code to include modified bear spray as an illegal weapon.
If you prohibited the modification of bear spray and said that if you modified bear spray, it would be a prohibited weapon, it would allow the police to take action on that before somebody used it against an individual.
Given the recent rise of bear spray attacks, Gertsen says he wants to make it more difficult for people who use bear spray to assault individuals to obtain bail.
Because in the same way we want to ensure that young people can find their way to a place of being good, productive, and contributing members of society, we also have to ensure that those individuals who are protected from violence and feel safe walking on the streets.
According to Winnipeg Police, there's been a rise in bear spray attacks. Just last year, there has been more than 800 bear spray attacks reported, the most it's ever been in the last 5 years. And up until June of this year, there's been more than 500.
Well, the problem with that is if I have a can of bear spray and I cover it in black electrical tape, does that mean that I'm now deciding to use the bear spray on people? Or is it just because I like the color black?
Criminal defense lawyer Michael Dick says that modifying bear spray is not enough to prove that someone is using it as a weapon, and that changing the legislation will not help the issue.
It doesn't necessarily solve the problem about why people have this item to begin with, just by them changing the appearance of the canister that it's in.
Dick says that what matters in this context is an individual's intention, and proving that in court can become tricky.
And so if we change the legislation and say, well, if they modify it to be used against people, well, then it'll be a prohibited weapon. That still creates the problem, how do we know that some modifications mean it's to be used against people as opposed to other modifications? How can we prove that it's now to be used against people or not? So that doesn't quite, I think, solve the problem that we're in right now.
Back in July, Carla Cole's teenage daughter was attacked with bear spray while at a skate park. The incident shocked Cole and her family.
Where they're getting access to these bear spray and even knives.
Cole says she's not sure whether making modified bear spray an illegal weapon will solve the issue.
It's just like knives are a weapon, they're still being used. Guns are a weapon, they're still being used.
I don't think most people that are purchasing bear spray to use on people are saying, oh, well, I'm not going to use that because it might be tougher for me to get bail, so I'm really going to think my life choices now.
Gertsen says he will be meeting with Canada's Minister of Justice next month to discuss this issue and hopefully bring change to the legislation. In Winnipeg, Sweet Arasi, City News.